Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Slot faces same old Liverpool problem as Wataru Endo injury deepens crisis. Second news is Liverpool star Mohamed Salah tipped to turn down Saudi Arabia transfer for perfect move. Third news is Liverpool urged to make double Tottenham transfer raid as not too happy claim made. Now details. The FA Cup, certainly at the fourth round stage, would usually be met with a raft of Liverpool changes. But Saturday's visit from Brighton and Hove Albion could be a case of no love lost for Arne Slot on Valentine's Day. The world's oldest cup competition represents the Reds' most realistic chance of silverware this term, and while hope will always spring eternal in the Champions League where this club is concerned, it is unlikely Slot will be resting and rotating heavily for this one. Liverpool don't play for 8 days after this, when they visit a Nottingham Forest, who will likely have a new manager in place by then, so there can be no bleating about fixture congestion, and given the need to salvage as much as possible from this difficult campaign to date, the head coach has to go as strong as possible. That being said, Wataru Endo won't be able to be called upon, as he joins the growing list of injury concerns at Anfield. Slot admitted after Wednesday's 1-0 win over Sunderland that the Japan captain will likely be sidelined for a prolonged period after an awkward landing when clearing a cross in the second half. So just who starts at right back? That has been the season-long problem for the Reds' boss, who conceded on Wednesday. You can hardly believe what this rightful back position brings us this season. Calvin Ramsey is still ready for selection, but Slot has made it clear he views other, more experienced players as more suitable options just now. The return of Dominik Szoboszlai has come at the right time, even if the Hungary captain would rather be bossing the midfield battle. The No. 8 has excelled all season, but he will almost certainly be expected to put in another shift in the back four against the visiting Seagulls. Milos Kerkez may return for Andy Robertson at left-back, and there is a debate to be had over whether Joe Gomez starts over Ibrahima Konate. Having said that, Slot could well keep faith with the centre-half partnership who excelled at Sunderland, who were unbeaten at home prior to the 1-0 loss. Gomez, who returned on Wednesday after over a fortnight sidelined with a hip issue, may be kept in reserve and deployed from the bench if needed in either the central or right-back spots at the back. In midfield, Curtis Jones is vying for a recall, and he could come in for Alexis Mac Allister, who put in quite the second-half shift in the northeast. Ryan Gravenberch is also available, while Trey Nyoni will be waiting in the wings for a surprise inclusion also. Nyoni, ordinarily, might have anticipated game time in the FA Cup, but Slot is having to go strong this time out given the newfound importance of this competition it seems. The informed Florian Wirtz will likely keep his No. 10 role. The Germany international was excellent against Regis Lebris's Sunderland on Wednesday night, and under the lights at Anfield, could be the perfect setting to continue the sort of form that earned him January's Player of the Month award at Liverpool. Like Nyoni, this will have been a game Rio and Gumo has circled on his calendar on the draw was made, but Slot might keep faith with Cody Gakpo in the knowledge that over a week between games is perfect at this juncture of the term. With Alexander Isak still sidelined and Jadon Danns out as well, Hugo Ekitike will once more lead the line, with Mohamed Salah only really challenged for a place by Federico Chiesa, who rarely starts under Slot. With no Champions League playoff fixture to concern themselves with, however, Slot can go full strength on Saturday night, with the just that pesky right-back spot the only contentious decision. Second news is Liverpool star Mohamed Salah tipped to turn down Saudi Arabia transfer for perfect move. Liverpool striker Mohamed Salah has been predicted to reject overtures from Saudi Pro League clubs upon his departure from Anfield, opting instead to continue his career in Europe. Despite enduring a campaign where the Egyptian has failed to reach his customary standards, Salah is attracting attention from the Middle East ahead of the summer transfer window. However, former Liverpool midfielder Didi Hamann believes he may opt for a return to Italy instead. Salah's future depends on whether Liverpool want a transfer fee, as well as his wages, but the Italians always appreciate an older player more than we do in Germany and maybe in England, Hamann explained. If you look at other clubs, they've got managers who are older than the ones in other countries. They've got the players if you look at Inter. And obviously he had a spell at Roma, so he's been there before. Maybe he's got unfinished business in Serie A, and there are some brilliant clubs. If you look at Roma, they haven't really been on the map in the last few years. What a wonderful story that would be if he went back to Roma. Then obviously with the Milan clubs, you always have a chance in the league. They've both done well in the Champions League in recent years. I wouldn't say Saudi is the only destination. It's probably the most likely one, but I think there will be one or two clubs who will be sniffing once they hear that he might go and Italy might just be perfect. Salah was the target of a £150 million offer from Al Ittihad in 2023, which Liverpool swiftly dismissed. This summer, however, speculation will be widespread about fresh attempts from the Saudi Pro League to attract another major star. With Cristiano Ronaldo now 41, the region could benefit from securing another high-profile name. Salah, as one of the finest players in the world over the past decade or so, would be ideal. I didn't really understand when Salah said he's done so much for the club and shouldn't need to fight for his place every single day, Hammond continued. I think he should fight. He has to fight for his place. I think they found a good solution, but maybe it would have been best for both sides if they had gone their separate ways in the winter. At the same time, I don't really want to see the end of an era for a player who has won everything. People still talk now, years later, about Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino and Salah. Salah and Mane didn't get on the best, but on the pitch they were just dynamite, the pair of them. Firmino linked it all together. It would have been sad to see it end this way during the season. So I think they probably made the right call, especially because Liverpool is a bit different in that respect with the way they treat managers and their players. He's got a year left on his contract now. Is he the same player? No, he's not, and I mentioned it before. He has struggled to score goals from open play since Christmas last year. So, is there a chance he's going to leave in the summer? I think yes, there is. I don't know the financial situation, but Liverpool probably has to bring in at least one quality winger, a player who makes a difference. Maybe a squad player is not enough. Maybe you need somebody who starts as a regular. I think he could have gone last year or 2 years ago, but he didn't. I'm not sure he wants to go, but I think there's a chance that maybe they go their separate ways in the summer. Third news is Liverpool urged to make double Tottenham transfer raid, as not too happy, claim made. Didi Hamann believes Tottenham Hotspur star Mickey van de Ven will be on the radar of Liverpool this summer. The Reds agreed a deal to sign Jeremy Jacquet on transfer deadline day, with the highly rated Rennes defender joining in the summer for an initial £55 M, potentially rising to £60 M. However, Ibrahima Konate is inside the final few months of his contract. Joe Gomez was close to leaving the club in the closing days of last summer's window, while Giovanni Leoni is still recovering from a serious injury. And Hamann, who won the 2005 Champions League with the Reds, thinks Netherlands international Van de Ven will be near the top of any shortlist for defensive additions. We know in football how important pace is going forward, but also at the same time you need quick defenders, and the more fast ones you've got, the better, Hamann told Thunderpick, EO. I think Mickey van de Ven is one of the quickest, if not the quickest, in the Premier League. So yeah, he'd certainly be one who's on the radar. And there's a player from Spurs at Hamburg now who's making huge waves, Luka Vuskovic, a Croatian guy, 18. He leads the defense. They got a point against Munich last week. He scored and he's on Tottenham's books. I think Ivan Rakitic came out and said he's such a good player, he should go to Bayern Munich, they should be signing him. But obviously they can only sign him if Spurs let him go. So I think the centre-back position at Spurs will be very interesting what's happening in the summer because Van de Ven, the way he stood well here for Wolfsburg, I always liked him as a player. I think he's a player who strives to do better. I'm not sure whether he's too happy with the way things are going, I suppose, at the moment. Hamann continued, if Ibrahima Konate leaves, they Liverpool probably need at least one more player because I think it's a big risk. Jeremy Jacquet is a very promising young player. Bayern Munich were very interested. They thought they might have had him because it was not clear whether Dayot Upamecano was going to extend his contract. You just have to wait and see. I think what will be important is that when a young player comes into a struggling side, it doesn't help him. And hopefully in the summer, things will have settled down because it makes it a lot easier for a young player to come in and do what he does best.